Greetings, royal family. All right, I'm back. Thanks for clicking on the video. These housewives, it's a lot going on in the first 10 minutes of the episode, right? All right, let's skip the intro. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so we see Cynthia and Eva. They arrive at a restaurant and they're getting ready to sit down and have a little powwow, or so we think, right? So they're really sitting talking about this wig situation where Tanya revealed that Kenya had a wig in their bag that she wanted her to take back to the States, yada, yada, right? So they're really acting like this whole wig reveal, Kenya wears a wig, ooh, ah, is a really big deal. They're acting like it's deep. So Cynthia feels that, she needs to facilitate a sit down with Kenya and Tanya. And I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Cynthia, wrong person. So we see Tanya, she arrives and she's her usual positive self, nice and bubbly. Then Kenya arrives and she just arrives with all of her negative energy before she even gets her behind in the seat. She's talking about reading a bee and just doing the most. So they start going back and forth. They start talking, Tanya and Kenya. Now, Kenya's argument is pretty weak, in my opinion, right? So you guys should have been keeping up. You know what the whole issue is about with Tanya's fiance supposedly trying to hook up with the cookie lady, yada, yada. So I just think that Kenya's argument is really, really weak. Her weak argument coupled with her fake outrage about Tanya trying to ruin her brand. She went into this whole spiel about Tanya trying to ruin her brand, and she has a multi-million-dollar company and she didn't get anything handed to her by a man. All this animosity that she's coming at Tanya with. I thought we were here to discuss the wig situation and the fact that you and Cynthia had an encounter with the cookie lady. What are we talking about here? I just think that she is just whatever. And did you guys catch how Kenya threw Cynthia under the bus when she basically said the cookie lady approached Cynthia and I was told, and Cynthia's like, hold, wait a minute. Both of us were there. You see how she do? Good luck, Cynthia. Good luck. So Kenya, she's calling Tanya all types. She's calling her out of her name. She's just being really, really aggressive. And Cynthia, of course, is sitting there saying nothing. As usual, Cynthia is sitting there as usual saying nothing because, in her eyes, Kenya can do no wrong. She tries to stick up for herself, when Kenya says something to her, but whatever. Eva's there. I don't even know why, because she is just sitting there probably enjoying the free meal. She's just sitting there like a prop. She's saying nothing. I thought that Eva was cool with Tanya, right? Anyway, so while they're bickering, not even bickering, while Kenya is just doing the most, making a fool of herself, who arrives to the table? The cookie lady. She was invited by who? Yes, Kenya. I was just like, here we go. So Cynthia proceeds to say in her confessional that she is pissed with Kenya. Yeah, of course you're pissed with Kenya. You're not pissed with Kenya for inviting the cookie lady because apparently Cynthia didn't know. You're pissed at Kenya because she threw your behind under the bus. That's the only time you seem to care. Anyway, so I wonder, do you guys still think that Needy was lying as it pertains to Cynthia? I'm just saying. So cookie lady, she starts doing the absolute most, okay? She must have got paid good money for this scene because she was really turning up. She said that she had a conversation with Tanya's man. She was out with her girlfriend at a bar and two men approached them, one of them being Tanya's fiance. And he told her that he was single. Okay. And then she proceeds to say that after that, they kind of lost interest in one another. And I think she tried to allude to the fact that he followed her to the bathroom. And then Tanya was like, aren't the bathrooms right next to each other in this particular bar? It seems like Tanya's familiar with this bar. So she was just giving too much and she was just carrying on. And she came off like she was being hired to come after Tanya, right? It's like, girl, you doing all of that. You're not even humble. You're just telling her to calm down. You're just being so rude. And again, Cynthia, who was the one who facilitated this sit down between Kenya and Tanya, is saying nothing, right? Aren't you supposed to be the mediator? Granted, you didn't know that Cookie Lady was coming, but still, I think that you should have shut her down because she's new to the group. And Tanya just invited you ladies out to... I can't. You guys are so ungrateful. A mess. So once the conversation was pretty much wrapped up, right? You can see Eva, Cynthia, and Kenya, you know, they're like, oh my God, I got to try these cookies because the cookie lady did bring her product or whatever. So they're like eating the cookies right in front of Tanya. That's a shame. Like, Tanya was just sitting there looking like, are they serious? Nobody kind of had her back. Nobody kind of told this outside girl to pipe down and calm down. And Kenya, you can see Kenya leaving the restaurant, hugging this girl, you know, like they're best friends and best buddies. Just whack, just straight up whack. They did Tanya dirty. They really did her dirty. And production is behind this too. Moving along, we see Portia and Dennis. So they're on their way to another counseling session. And in a counseling session with Dr. Sherry, Portia, you know, she admits that she's having a hard time being intimate. And there's pretty much a block, you know, in the intimacy department because she's still hurt. Now, about what Dennis did. Now, that was very honest of her. You know, I can appreciate her keeping it real and being honest. And it's also a red flag, sis. That is a red flag. Like, that is just evidence that you did not take the necessary time to work on yourself. I'm just saying. And Dr. Sherry had me laughing. She says, oh, I see you got your ring back. Congratulations again. You're engaged again, you know. And then she proceeded to ask them, like, how are they doing and stuff like that. So Portia said that she's afraid to tell Dennis that it's hard for her to be intimate with him because of him cheating. And she's not really like attracted to him sexually right now. She said that she's afraid to tell him that because he may seek satisfaction elsewhere like he did before. Again, this is just sad. Like, she's being honest. I can appreciate it, but that is sad as hell. So anyway. Dennis was more talkative, I noticed, during this session. And I kind of wish that he wasn't, okay? I kind of wish that he would have just sat there and just looked, you know? Because he just talked about, he talked about the work that Portia has to do. Like, I'm sure they edited out some things, but he just kept talking about all the work that Portia has to do. And it just seems to me like he's not taking it seriously, right? Like, good luck, girl. All right, we see another scene with Cynthia. So she arrives at Mike's house. And she's knocking on the door, I noticed, right? She's outside her house. So I'm saying to myself, how is it that you don't have a key? Isn't Noelle staying with her soon-to-be stepdaddy? And you ain't got no key? So Cynthia, she's telling Mike about the recent drama that went on with the cookie lady and all of that stuff. And the editing had me cracking up in this scene because they made it seem like, you know, Mike was totally not interested in any of this drama and he could care less. So I was here for that. He basically said that the whole thing is childish and next time they need to get some juice boxes and some cookies or something like that because this was totally childish. All right, moving along. Candy and Todd. So in a nutshell, this scene is pretty much Mama Joyce. She plans on putting Riley down as her beneficiary. This is what Candy is telling Todd for whatever reason. And I just don't understand what is wrong with her. Why are you having this discussion about Mama Joyce's personal dealings with Todd? Like, what does this have to do with him? So Candy says that Mama Joyce, you know how she is. She's slick. Mama Joyce is slick at the mouth. I wish we would have seen her in this episode. But anyway, so Candy is telling Todd, like, oh, you know, Mama Joyce just feels like she leave everything to Riley. She would make sure that she would take the money and take care of her, you know, her siblings. And then Todd has the nerve to kind of get offended by that. Like, he says, oh, she doesn't trust that I would take care of the kid. First, it's not your money. This scene confused me and just made me look at Candy like, girl, you are really, something ain't right upstairs. Like, what are you doing here? I just don't think they should have any say in what Mama Joyce, who she puts down as her beneficiary, what she does with her. I don't get that. Like, girl, why would Candy, why would Candy even discuss this with Todd, knowing that Mama Joyce ain't got nothing for Todd? Like, Candy also says that Mama Joyce might not want to put Candy's name down on Mama Joyce's house because she wants to, to avoid having to deal with Todd. I don't know what she meant by that. Now, I do enjoy some of Mama Joyce's antics. I'm going to be honest with you. And I haven't always agreed with some of the things that she said and done. But this whole life insurance thing, I think it's only an issue because Candy is making it an issue. Like, this has nothing to do with Todd. I don't get why Candy is even having a conversation about this. I understand that's her husband, but Mama Joyce ain't got nothing for Todd. So why are you discussing who she chooses to put as her beneficiary? Like, and is that a bad thing that she puts Riley down as her beneficiary? Why are you mad about that? That's her granddaughter, right? Her first granddaughter. I'm confused. Back at Mike's place, honey, it just gets worse and worse from here, y'all. I couldn't even do it. I was just like, what is going on with everybody in this episode? And Nene wasn't even in this episode. But I guess she didn't need to be. Whatever. So back at Mike's place, right? So Cynthia, remember, she's visiting Mike. I think Mike lives in LA, right? So she's out there for a couple of days. So they're supposed to be having like this little get together with some of Mike's friends. And Cynthia, I guess she wants to be introduced to his, his people or what have you. So majority, 90% of Mike's friends that arrive are women. I think there were only 2 guys there or whatever. So, oh my God. So Cynthia's just like, Mike has a lot of, beautiful female friends and stuff like that. So they're all, coming in one by one, and it's a whole kitchen full of women, Mike, and then 2 other guys. And then Mike's daughter is there and Cynthia's there. So his lady friends are not shy, and they're some of them are kind of outspoken. So I did notice that. And one of his friends says that Mike has never been in love. I said to myself, Lord Jesus, the baby's sitting right there. Mike's daughter was sitting right there amongst everybody. Cynthia, she's just like holding on to him, and like, just, I guess, trying to like, how do I say this? Fit in, I guess. Fit in. But whatever. So one of his female friends says, this is interesting. I do notice that Mike is willing to be public with his relationship. Mike has told me on several occasions he's never been in love. And I'm like, the first thing that I think about, this ain't even my kid. I said, oh my God, his daughter is sitting right there. Because Mike has 3 girls from a previous marriage. I don't know if he was married I think he was married 2 times before. And she's sitting there listening to all of this. Now, he did say that he has been open. I guess he realized, what his friend said. And he says that he's been open with his daughters about talking to his daughters and stuff like that. And then he tells his daughter to go upstairs in front of everybody. First of all, that's embarrassing. Okay, yes, she's a college-age girl, but she looked so embarrassed, and she looked like she was about to cry, or she was crying. That pissed me off so bad. I said, oh my God. So he and Cynthia go up to her room to check on her. And I do think that Mike should have gone by himself. But he did bring Cynthia. He asked her, can I come in? Is it okay if Cynthia comes in? She says, okay. What is she going to say? Hell no. She doesn't seem like that type of kid. So he and Cynthia go to check on her, y'all. And if you guys saw the episode, he starts talking, and he does say, I take full responsibility for, the conversation going that way. That was totally my fault. And then you can hear the baby sob. Well, she's not a baby, but you can hear her sobbing in her room. That pissed me off so bad, because I was just like, how can you be so careless? You know what I mean? Like, everybody in the room. So Cynthia, I think before, she was talking about how Mike he told her that he hasn't been faithful in his previous relationships. And she's just like, oh, where does that leave me? So now you concerned. Who cares? This is what I want to say about that last scene. Mike, his friends, as well as Cynthia, I think that they were all careless in their choice to discuss certain things in front of that girl. First of all, you're going to have one of your close friends say, well, he didn't have her. His close friend that says, Mike has told me he's never been in love. He was with that girl's mama. How do you think that that's going to make her feel? I don't care how old she is. That was inappropriate. His friend was wrong. He was wrong. Cynthia was wrong, because you guys all collectively brought up certain things. And I just don't think that any of that stuff should have been discussed in front of the daughter, in front of his daughter. None of it. It shouldn't have. I don't care how old she is. So that's where the episode ended. I don't even care about what's going to happen next week, to be honest with you, because I still feel some type of way about seeing that. That little girl was sobbing in her room. Oh, so sad. That really almost made me cry. All I know is Nene will be on the episode next week, and that's what the previews show. And it looks like her and Cynthia are going to be talking to each other. So yeah, overall, Cynthia, you're a dum-dum head. I don't even know, a bobblehead. And you just, ugh. Why is Eva on the show? Her water's supposed to break next week. She doesn't want to go to the hospital. Like, whose water breaks and you don't want to go to the hospital? Listen, if I was at that restaurant, I would have been like, well, just let her sit there then. You know, can I get a refill on my drink? What are you? No, but that scene with, all jokes aside, that scene with Mike's daughter, that did something to me, and it really made me feel some type of way. So, Royal family, that's it, okay? I mean, this wasn't really much. We seen Kenya do what she normally does. I know that there are people who ride for her and who will defend her. Hey, good for you. That's what you do. Make sure you like the video. Thank you for rocking out to the very, very end. Thank you for clicking on the video. I greatly appreciate it. So make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed the commentary. Can't wait to see what you have to say in the comments. Keep it respectful. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with anything that I said. Perfectly fine. Just don't call me stupid, and you don't have to be disrespectful. So, Royal family, I will meet you down in the comments. I'm signing off. Make sure your notifications are on because I will be back real soon. Until next time, y'all. Peace.